All right, going live in 3, 2, 3, 2. All right, going live in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's go. So loud. There you go. There we go. All right, so I want to do the review of the trades that I took this week and get it over real quick. So that's my TradeOvate account right there. So let's go see this week's performance. What am I doing here? So we're gonna do this week. Go, there we go. So that's how much we made this week. That's how much I made. If it's in brackets, it's a loss. So we are down $43 for the week. It was an okay week anyway. Break even pretty much. Let's see, where do we go to see that? Account balance history. This week. There we go. So Monday I took a loss, and then Tuesday also took a small loss right there. Then Wednesday we did get like a win, decent enough, and then we didn't get a trade on Thursday and Friday, and pretty much that's how it looks like. Looking at the my journals here, I can see the Monday trade was Nasdaq. I was only in there for 21 minutes, but took that loss. 89 points was my stop loss. Drawdown was 100%. That was a loss right there, 175. This was a test trade. MCL is crude oil, I believe. Should be. MCL is crude oil futures. Yep, so I was testing. Very favorable with micros. So, yep. And then on Tuesday, we took this loss on, why is there not an after? So Tuesday I took 2 trades. One was a winner. I had it, the stop loss was not that, so 193, that would be 1:2. So what's a half of that? Well, 100 and something, or maybe less. So then I decided, hey, let me take a second trade, and the second trade unfortunately was a loss. And then on Wednesday I took a winner on gold. So let's go check out. Oh, pretty much, so that's the review. Week, how it looked like right there. So let's go look at the individual trades. So Monday was the Nasdaq trade right there. That's how it looked like. Everything was just, this was a good trade. It was supposed to work. But it did not. So whenever I get such good trades, everything just lines up. That's a zone right there. Trading off of that zone, my EMAs line up so good, and I enter and it takes me out. I blame price. Pretty much my hands are clean. Like, I did everything I could do. So I love such trades, honestly. Fortunately it didn't work out. What is this? Let's see how it looked like after. This is pretty much even nothing to correct here. So now this is something though. So seems like we had a signal somewhere here. We can see the cursor. But I was concerned with that Friday EQ level of which was the half point of Friday, because this was Monday. So I said, hey, I'd like to see just a bullish candle on the 1 minute, close above that EQ, because there's pretty much some support, resistance. Price will hit that point and then price gets pushed to the downside. So I was like, yo, I just can't assume that, right? So I was like, yo, I'm gonna wait for a closure at that point and then I'm gonna get my trade. And I think we had news that day. Donald Trump was supposed to speak, but he didn't come out to speak. He came like an hour later. And I'm thinking that's pretty much why we had this retracement. It didn't make sense to me, but price will do whatever it wants to do. And if you look at the after, that second trade is the one, not the first one. The second one is one I entered. It took me out and then immediately went and was in profits. So I was like, yo, if I took this first one, my stop loss would never have been hit and I would have been in that trade. So one of the changes I've made is, hey, when I get my signal, no matter what, I'm gonna just engage. If it takes me out, it takes me out, because I've lost a few trades now, having to worry so much. When the signal comes, hey, we're taking it. All in all, I think that decision was good to wait for closure above that line. I don't really blame myself for that, but it's all good. It is all good. So took a loss there and then trade immediately goes up to profit. Happens. So let's go see what happened on Tuesday. I think my music is up and done. There you go. So here's a trade we took on Tuesday, which one was a winner, the other was a loss. Again, everything lined up nicely. Trading off of, I should have taken the 15-minute. This is the 30-minute 30-minute time frame, but on the 15-minute time frame, this right here was a zone, like the last down candle before the last down candle or candles before this up move. We come and close below it. That right there becomes my zone of resistance. And then I just wait for my EMAs to line up, and they line up so nicely over there. But then I was like, yo, I don't know, I just became skeptical here. So I only took one micro when it had allowed for me to take 2 micros and just be within my 250 risk threshold that I'm taking for right now. And it just went straight ahead and hit TP. So I'm like, yo, I didn't even wait for the full 2 hour, but that was decent enough. So I was like, yo, I do have another $100 I can risk, so I can take another trade. And here we go. There we go. So I was like, yo, if I see another signal, I'm in. That's a retracement back to 50. EMAs line up again, of which that was not even supposed to be an entry. The entry was supposed to be on this candle here. Anyway, it would have still been a loss, so I was taken out. So pretty much it was a break even day. And actually that was like the low of the day, because after that the market just reverses and goes the other way. So that is why we're taking this data, so we can see, because I'm finding myself sometimes I'm taking these trades at the low of the day or at the high of the day when the EMAs line up. So seems like when this setup is failing, it's kind of like a setup for the other side. So we'll take more data and see if we can, pivot. So pretty much when we take a loss, hey, immediately look for longs. And yeah, we'll see how that goes, because most of them, when it takes me out, it doesn't do like what this one did, like takes me out and then now goes my way, takes me out and then keeps going the other side. That is why journaling is important for you to notice such things with your strategy. All right, so we lost the first winner was 193. That should have been 2 times, so at least 400 or 380 something, but I only took half, but it's all good. And then took a loss, so I had a small loss of $83. And then on Wednesday I saw a trade on gold again. everything checks up. This was my first zone, but didn't get a trade. I don't like trading the first 15 minutes. I wait for 6:30 to 6:45 kind of closure, and then now I get a little bit more comfortable taking trades. So now this was the last two down candles here before the market went up, and then we came and closed below those two candles right there, and that for me becomes a zone of resistance. So I'm looking for price to come back to that area, and then it's indications of resistance, and we start running away. Start trading away from that zone. I look for an entry when I see those characteristics, and what that helps me is the EMAs here. So I need them all to line up, and then I need a I need a retracement back to that purple EMA, which is the 50 EMA. Let me see, I'm not missing nothing here. So whenever that happens and then the EMAs line up again, that's my trade entry. So that's pretty much what happens here. The EMAs line up right there. A retracement touches 50. Pretty much doesn't really touch 50, but that's close enough, because that's one of the changes I've made ever since I started. So before I wouldn't take that trade unless it touches the 50. And that was my entry right there. My stop loss just above the black EMA, which is 100, and pretty much profits. And then it retraces, and I was like, we're done. I'm about to get smoked. Then comes my way, goes back up again, and this was like what? We stayed in here. I stayed in here for like 3 hours, 19 minutes, just soothing this trade. Then we started having these runs later in the day or whatever, and then right here I was like, you know what, I think I'm done. It's very late in the day, so I closed my profits for like took up my profits for 1 hour, and that was pretty much okay. So I was looking to make $400 on this trade, but it just didn't come my way, and that was good because this was the last down move, and then it just reversed. If you can see the after image right here, right, one more run and then reversed for the rest of the day. So that would have been a break even, because the option was to break even, then let this thing run, or just take profits, because I want to get down by 9 a.m. but so that was a good move getting out of that trade. Pretty much that was my week right there. Unless there's any questions, I'm pretty much done here. So one of the changes that I'm still looking at, based on all these trades I've taken, is the stop losses I've taken. Let's look at a few of them that have the before and after. Let's say like this one. Let me close this. Too many. It was a decent week. It was a decent week. Pretty much break even. Let me look at this loss right here. Look at this. So we everything's textbook. Nice trade, trading off of a zone. It's even paired with a fair value gap. So this should have worked, but it just doesn't. So let's see then what the next one looks like. And you can see this is what I'm talking about. It hits my stop loss and then goes the other way. So something to look at. Let me see another loss here. Again, textbook. Pretty much this one at that previous day EQ, and I'm thinking this is why the other day I was kind of skeptical taking a trade unless I see a closure. But then there was a closure below that EQ line. Still would have been a loss, so doesn't matter. It was a decent trade. It just didn't work out. So let's see the next one, if it went my way or just kept. Again, look at this. Hits my stop loss and then goes the other way. So let's see this other loss here. Again, a nice trade. That last down candle, we short up, come down, so low, low, high, lower, low, the subbreaker. Wait for a retest of that area. EMAs line up, boom, I'm in. It doesn't work. Okay, let's see after what happened after. Boom, goes the other way. So this strategy, honestly, it has some huge potential, bro. So those are three trades. So this stop loss, you know, instead of it being your crap, we took a loss today. It could be a setup for another trade. I'm just noticing. Let's look at another day here. Unfortunately, this one I don't have an after. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, this was my. I don't want to say my mistake on this trade, but this should have been a winner. So what I was telling myself is EMAs have lined up right here. We'll retest that 50. So I was like, yo, we're not supposed to come back to the stop loss area. So what I did is I moved my stop loss to the 100 EMA, and it comes, takes me out, and then goes and hits TP. So, you know, I don't blame myself. That is what I felt like doing that day, and I felt like that was the right thing to do. So that's why I did that. So congratulations. But your move was, it cost you a good trade, but it's all good. So now, if we haven't hit some sort of like a point of interest, like taking some liquidity or trading into a fair value gap, I'm not moving my stop loss. It just stays there, and I submit, and I'm ready to let that trade go. So this right here should have been a winner. I mean, trades will retrace back to your stop loss zone, and then just let it be. Anyway, I would have been glad that I did that if it came and hit stop loss, but moving forward, unless we get to some important area, we're not moving stop losses, bro. Otherwise, that should have been a winner that day. Anyway, it's all good. I think that's why I didn't take an after. Let's look at another loss. So this is this week. Okay, that hit my stop loss. Now this one, I think we already reviewed. It took me out and then went my way. But look at, this is the trade I should have taken. So I left a note there. I was concerned with the Friday EQ level, so I didn't take this trade. And then again, Trump. But he had good news anyway. But anyway, it's all good. Bless our president. Look at this. Again, takes me out and then goes the other way. And I'm sure these losses, I don't have the after. I'll go back. I think I've said this number of times. I think it's the same thing. So can we make this change this week, this coming week? Wait patiently for a setup. When it forms, if it takes me out, then my stop loss has to I could set up my stop loss to be the entry for the other trade. We could test that and see if that happens, or take some more data, because that's just 3 weeks. So what I could do is do another month, another 4 weeks, and then we'll see if that really stands out. Because if that worked, then all these trades will be winners, because I would have just reversed. Even if it's just to break even, get the loss back, all of them that we have lost, we would have made that money back. Only one, this one right here, is the only one that would have been, probably would have taken 2 losses. Otherwise, the rest of them would have, if you know. Anyway, unless there's any questions, I'm gonna end the chat here. I've just done the review. That is one thing I've noted. That is why it's important, man, to have a journal. Pretty much that's how my journal looks like. It's simple, just whatever the date, the instrument I'm trading. Currently it's just Nasdaq and gold. Looking to start trading what is this? Oh, crude oil and silver. Silver does look like gold, I'm not gonna lie. They look similar. So that's crude oil. That's gold. Well, they don't look similar at the moment, but they kind of move the right way. So pretty much it's just to see whose setup looks better, even if they move in the same way. The setups kind of form differently sometimes. And then also looking at silver, and see what else a few more that I could add. But silver is very what do I say? It looks very nice trading macros with. I think it has the lowest amount that you could use to trade. Anyway, I'm good. I'm gonna end this review here because I'm done. And then I'm gonna do a back test. So pretty much take like maybe 15 minutes, a break of 15 minutes, and then come back and do a back test. Now, in this back test, I'm gonna test that that logic where my stop loss is gonna be my entry for the next trade in case the stop loss is hit. So it will be something like this. Let's say I'm going for a long, right? And I'm in for two micros. So what we're gonna do is, so my stop loss will be two. If I'm going up, that will be what? That will be a sell. What would it be? It will be a sell stop of two micros, right? So we're gonna put 4 instead. So that will put us in a sell of 2 micros, if that makes sense. Anyway, just join me in the back test and we'll see if that works. So, yep. And I'm out. I'll see you on the next one in 15 minutes. Hope you do join me in the back test video. So we put all that in action and see if we are dreaming or if it's something viable. Unless there's any questions in the chat, I am out. See you again in 15 minutes with a backtest video. Trader Mavera, and I'll see you soon. And I'm out. Where's that stream end thing? Peace. See you in 15 minutes.